Hello, June, and hello. And we the only people who read the book.
I love you guys.
We are so
gosh, bring out
you.
Wait, bring out drinks. Go.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
as
So.
long as you're of age.
Oh shoot. Okay. I forgot how to host a live. Okay. Hey everybody, and welcome back to my book club. Today I am going to be muting this because I. Oh shoot. Okay. How do I mute this? There we go. It's like I'm watching it on the other tab. Okay. So hey everybody, and welcome back to my book club. I am here with my guests, with my panel, with my lovely people. We have Marina over here, we have Ava down here, and we have Lucha down there. And we are here because we are going to be discussing The Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. And this was selected by Marina. This was her choice. And we all have some thoughts. Actually, I know what people think of the book and how I know that they've all read it, but I don't know what their specific thoughts are. I know that one of us read it, so I can't wait to hear what she thinks. But yeah, let's start by introducing ourselves. Marina is closest to me, so say who you are, say what kind of books you like, and share one interesting thing about. Oh, and share what you're drinking.
Okay, great. Yeah. So, my name is Marina. I'm a college friend of Mikay, and I also love to read books. Specifically, I'm more into fiction, horror, and fantasy books. And right now, sorry, it's already kicking in. I know what I'm about to say is going to sound like extremely weird, but just bear with me because I didn't have much to work with in the house. So like I was like, I want something fruity, but then obviously make it spiked, right? So what I did is I got a bunch of like frozen fruit, blended it, and spiked it with rum, and I've been drinking it.
Oh, dude, that sounds good.
That looks like a pina colada.
Just so you know, it was here. It was here, kanina. So I've been drinking it slowly but surely for them.
I love it.
Mine is already turning me red. Also, I think. Oh no, I need to change my ring light. Okay, we love that. Okay, Ava next because she's like right under you, so she goes second, and then you go back up to me. Ava, darling, go for it. The only real booktuber on this panel.
Yeah, I'm not as eloquent as you guys are, so this is all a facade. Anyway.
Girl, you got the hair, you got the makeup, you got the lighting, you got the bookshelf. I've got. I want to hide because like this is the most makeshift left side part of my bedroom. Anyway, go. Floor is yours.
So this pretentious. So this pretentious person is Ava. So we've actually met twice now, Mikay. And hope to see you guys a whole lot more. So these people have been encouraging me to read so many books. Like in the past few weeks, I've read more books than I have in a year, which is like super amazing for me.
Which is ironic because your Instagram is bookworming my way downtown, so misses.
Because here's the thing. I do love books. I do love reading, but then mangas tend to be a bit shorter. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm reading right now. So in terms of like the written book, wait, it's kicking in too. Wait, yeah. In terms of like an actual book, no, I can't price it as an actual book because like I do consider any form of storytelling with like stories in it as like a book. I mean, mangas, manhwas, and books are all equal in my eyes. Yeah. Anyway, so the type of stories that I do like tend to gravitate towards fiction. That's where we all like agree on. Yeah. And then but then I read anything that like I'm interested in. Right so now I'm reading.
Sorry. But no, continue and then tell us what you're drinking.
Oh, so what I'm drinking right now, what I'm going to be drinking and refilling throughout the video is this gin. It's a Filipino-made gin. Please sponsor us if you want. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. So this gin is particularly famous in the Philippines because of its relatively like how do you say tama? Like it will hit you.
Strength.
It has like high alcohol content, but the price
I
is
love
around.
how these guys are like teaching me all these words. I am gonna be bilingual with my friendship with them very soon.
Yeah, I'm drinking tanduay. Just tanduay rum. It's also, rum.
You
Why is
know,
there
also-
rum in your house, Marina Reyes? Is work getting stressful?
Yes.
so this talks about
Wait. We have some people in the. Okay, June is drinking a vodka Sprite. And,
Those are good. I love those.
okay, Kim says that your drink looks hardcore, and she
Dude,
is
it
drinking
is.
water. We love water. We love water. I'm drinking water too. I have ice in this, so that
water.
counts as water.
Yeah.
supporting
Okay.
you.
Yeah, I have
Drink
water
whatever
too.
you guys want. Because this book is very, very thirsty.
This book. Wow. This,
I have comments.
Yeah.
I am not.
Okay, we'll
before
get
we get
to
to
this.
Before we get to the
yeah.
comments, Lucha down here to do that. Wait, before Lucha does her thing, I am so glad that we are all of the same size now, because last time I thought that it looked like this, but when I watched the replay, I was huge on this part of the screen. And there were like little tiny squares beside me. I was like, this does not look right, fam. Okay, so go, Luch. I'm really glad that we are of the same size now.
Hi everyone. So I'm Lucha. I have college friends with McKay, and I'm back. So the books that I read are more on fiction and contemporary. So recently I've been really gravitating towards like a lot of Asian and authors.
Mhm.
So there. And what I am drinking right now, from the Philippines, we are going to Korea. I'm drinking soju. Flavored.
God,
International people, international drinks.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. We have Kim that says the gin looks hardcore. I think I got that comment. And then she
Yeah.
goes, I know who read the Honeymooners. Oh.
Are you sure?
And Ava, I think somebody's thirsty. Oh, just kidding. I think she's commenting on your. I think she's commenting on the comment you made. All right, so let's first, before we talk about the book, all of us did this thing where if you've read the Unhoneymooners, you know that at the beginning of the book, what's her name? Olive, right? I can't even remember. Oh wait, I forgot to do my own thing. Hi, McKay. I own the channel. I'm drinking punch that is also very spiked. Okay.
What does it spike with though?
Super special fun juice.
Love.
I can't edit that out because we're live, so I totally just burp. Y'all feel free to burp, fart, snort, smoke. Just kidding. Anyway, so we did this. We didn't really. It's not really a contest, but we did this thing where we drew the bridesmaids. No, we drew the dress of Olive. I'm gonna get through this, I swear. We drew the dress of Olive that she wore during the wedding, and we are all gonna share it. So since Marina went first, introducing herself, Lucha is gonna share the dress first. Yes, she is.
This was like a really rushed drawing, and it's like super ugly. But yeah,
Oh.
Oh my god, it looks so good.
Girl,
Just
I'm
thanks.
just gonna go on a limb and assume that we all emphasized the breasts part of the dress.
For context, for like people who I hope that everyone who watches this stream are people who have read the book. So for those who may not know,
Yeah, we read it for you, so it's fine.
yeah, the primary descriptors for this dress is Skittles, satin, and boobs. Boobs. So
I thought it was like sparkly. Like, that kind of glossy, those like spandex dresses that are just ugly.
I imagine like ruffles.
Okay, we'll see it later.
Okay,
But I remember it was just free. Like that's all I remember from it. It was ugly and
the color of Sprite.
Yeah. And
Ava,
boobs.
show your boobs, my dear.
What?
so going
Ava's
with
next,
that.
and Ava looks topless, to be honest, from this angle. Oh my gosh.
Here. But then it's very
you guys
flat.
are cosplay. You're cosplaying Olive. You're wearing
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yes. Okay, show,
You know, black
your
benefits. Okay, so unlike Olive, unlike myself, Olive is like a very well endowed woman, from what I remember. And as who isn't straight, I remember things like that. So here's my drawing, if you can see it. See, I emphasize like a certain part. The dress, it's very, very green. It's very, very ugly, and it looks free. I can give it for you for free.
It looks free.
Right? It does look free. And I feel like Ami would be very proud of it for getting it for free.
Yeah.
The real MVP.
Okay, Marina, what does your drawing look like? I think. Oh shoot.
At first, I was just like,
oh, you drew it on paper. Oh no.
Yeah. Okay, so like
I artist.
Oh, I can't
I tried
prepare.
to draw the full one, but you can't see how good. So
Oh my gosh,
I
it actually looks good.
so like I drew a bigger
But she
version,
has draft.
Okay, this is the most
So,
modest.
I cannot.
and then like
I
I tried to draw like these weird ruffles, but was like when I imagined this dress, I imagined tight, and it's like one of those dresses that like awkwardly pushes your butt out.
Oh yeah, no, get. Wait, how can I get this?
So like that's why I drew it like this, like zoom into the area. So
Despite the fact that you did zoom into her breasts, I think your dress was the most modest by far. This is mine.
True.
I don't know how to describe this because I'm not a fashion designer, but I also
Yes.
I love.
Yes.
my
But
giant-
it looks like it's expensive.
Right?
It doesn't look free.
I drew like a giant like slit over here and like super giant cleavage, and then like I was thinking of drawing like the back part because like apparently like her back was like showing, but then I also wanted to just illustrate what everyone was looking at, of course. So I drew that. Okay, I think we have some people. Okay, so Kim says, I think the best description of the dress was that it was Kermit the Frog felt.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
So yeah. And then I think we have June who says,
Right. No, but seriously,
It was like the only thing that mattered.
like every time she walks in a room, like she complains that her boobs are out and all that, and it's like I do understand where it's coming from because like it's a very common thing for women, especially
Yeah.
well-endowed women. But then it's like if you're going to emphasize this so much, this is all we're going to remember from now on.
Yeah, I know, and
remember.
and definitely like she also kept describing how it was like showing off her ass, showing off her like boobs, and then
And like stop flexing on us. I'm very flat. So what
All right. Okay. So I think we've gotten the dresses out. Like this isn't a competition. Y'all get a 10.
we can all drink.
We can. So everybody take a sip for how amazing your dress drawing was. Cheers. All right. So now let's actually talk about the book. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna give our non-spoiler thoughts. So just like a quick review. Don't summarize don't cite your favorite scenes. Just give like a quick little thing about how you thought about the book, what star rating you gave it, and then when we're done, we'll get into some spoilers. Okay, so I'm gonna go first this time because I'm the host, and yes, and I'm oh my god, I'm losing it, guys. Like I cannot keep it together. Like I need to remind myself I can't edit this because this is like an actual live. Okay. So spoiler-free thoughts. I gave this book 3.5 stars. I thought it was cute. So 3.5 stars for me is normally high for romance books, which I normally don't have high ratings for because it's just not my genre. Especially if it's like straight romance, I just can't relate. Not about that life. Anyway, so I really love the trope about the pessimistic person getting with an optimist. Like it was very La La Land to me. And I love the trope haters to lovers. I think we were just talking about this on our group chat.
Yeah.
And I just need to say that since a lot of you are like reading Throne of Glass right now, I just have to say that Sarah J. Maas is the queen of hate to love romance. And she does it so fucking well, bitch. Court of Mist and Fury. Court of Mist and skin fury, bitch. Okay,
I have
like,
thoughts. I have a lot
Resand.
of thoughts.
Like if anyone like myself gives Cordyceps in Fury 5 stars, the only review has to have one word, and that word is Resand because okay, so I need to, every chance I get to talk about him, I will, but we need to get back to the book. Okay, so fucking hell. So Cordyceps in Fury, bitch, yes, Resand 5-star period. Okay. So this book really, I like the fact that it, subverts the trope of the female being put into the role of the emotional crutch of the man. Because normally we have so many movies and so many books about how a man is like, broken and he's like tinkering in a garage and he lost his job and his happy-go-lucky, what's it called, manic pixie dream girl comes in and she's his emotional crutch, his emotional support, and it's just like, oh, this is so tired. And she's always more attractive than he is. So the fact that like we have a girl who's like down on her self-esteem, who has like a guy who's being the who's the optimist one in this relationship is just like was just like really refreshing to me. And I love that Olive was like a cynical main character because I just hate it when the main character is someone who's like all hopeful and like looking for the best in the world. So the fact that we had someone who was like, bitch, the world fucking sucks and I'm never gonna find love and fuck this bullshit. I'm never gonna have a wedding. I'm gonna dress in this green slutty dress, and it was like, girl. Okay. This is a romance protagonist I can tolerate. But what I didn't like was the fact that towards the end of the book they make what's the guy's name? Ethan, Evan.
Ethan.
Yeah, Ethan.
Ethan.
Yeah,
Ethan.
Ethan.
Oh, because no. I keep confusing the names of the guy in this book with the guy in every last fear.
Last Fear, yeah.
Which I'm almost done with, by the way. So yeah, so I just felt like they tried to make Ethan a total jerk, and in the end, when they tried to like resell him to us as somebody charming, it didn't just quite stick. Also, the epilogue was just really, it was so boring. All right, so 3.5 stars. That's me. Drink to that. Who would like to go next?
Drink to that.
Marina, since you drank, you go next. That's how we reward alcoholism on this group chat.
Yeah. Alcoholism. Look how far I've got.
Girl. Yeah.
Okay, I can feel my cheeks like heating up. But anyway, I'm sorry if this is like a train wreck because I intended to write down my thoughts, but then I was just like,
It's gonna be
I
damn it.
We'll go where
Okay.
the alcohol takes us.
Yeah. So overall, so Mickey summed it up pretty well. So basically, it's two people who hate each other, who go on a honeymoon, and then they end up falling in love, and then all of that, and they go through all of the usual things that you go through in a honeymoon, but then also they try to get to know each other a lot better and resolve their issues. Right now, overall, I really enjoyed the book because it reminded me of the rom-coms that I love. Like I really liked Someone Great. Same concept ish, that there's a Latina main character and all, and she's just trying to find her way and find herself aside from being in a relationship. And when I was reading the book, exactly like in my head, it was like the rom-com feels like the funny music, like the party music, drinking and laughing and all of that. And so it was a really good time. Honestly, like the writing was really good because it was clear, it was funny. I found myself like kind of in my bed, like giggling, like like when I was reading the book.
No, I agree.
And first, like I really liked also how they involved family in the whole story, because like it was really nice. Like towards, there's a certain, like in all of the rom-coms that we see, sometimes you don't really see like how the family plays a role in the conflict and whatever. But then it was really comforting to kind of see that in the book, and it reminded me a lot of, like, of course, in the Philippines, like our families involved in all of our stuff as well. So like I found that kind of nice. And also anyway, like, so the pacing was really good. It was so humorous. I found, and But I had to agree with
God, I'm so sorry.
I know, I'm so sorry. I'm like my cheeks are like so, but I have to agree with McKay that like I feel like the haters, the lovers dynamic could have been not
I think she froze for a while. Okay,
oh, sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think the haters to lovers part could have been better. I mean, it doesn't have to be like knife at your throat kind of haters to lovers, but I think that the conflict could have been better than just like that simple like misunderstanding, and like you said, like parang the resolution part towards the end, it was kind of rushed for me. I feel like there should have been like a bit more, because I personally really appreciated as well that she was this insecure girl, like insecure about her, like in comparison to her sister, insecure about her body, her as a woman, and insecure about her career life. Because like it was really nice, because when reading that, I found myself represented in a book. So when I was like reading it, I was so excited. Like I'm not Latina, but I'm a curvy girl. I'm trying to work and find my way. I'm insecure about my body and everything, and all of that. Finding that representation in a book, like, 'cause obviously romance books, they always describe this girl as like someone who thinks that she's ugly, but then actually she's like, I'm ugly. I'm like, she looks like a model. And so to find that representation in that book was really nice. So overall, like I like entertainment factor like way up there, but then because of the ending part, I had to give it a 3.5 also. So
okay, so I love your point about the girl, that whole cliche in like movies where a girl is like seeing herself as really ugly, but then you look at the actress. I don't know if any of you've seen the film The Girl on the Train. It's based on a book. It's based on a book of the same title. And in the book, she's described as like really like, middle-aged, grungy, alcoholic, completely unkept. And then in the movie, Emily Blunt. So
yeah, my God.
It's like look like who was in the book.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's a point. So I love your I really love that you like the book, because you picked it, so I'm glad you liked what you picked, and I'm really glad you felt represented and felt seen. We love that, which is why I never read straight romance books, except for this one, because I love you and you picked it. So, Lucha and Ava, who should go next?
Oh, I think Ava has like a lot of angry thoughts, so maybe I should go first.
No, we need have spoilers. I keep it short for now. Go, Lucha. You go first.
Okay, for me, I think it's between a 3 to 3.5 because of the ending. Like the banter was so good. Like the build up of like the two characters of like that love-hate relationship until the middle I found it like pretty good, because like their chemistry was like really good. But then when it hit the middle and then towards the end, I was like, this is so disappointing. Like without giving any spoilers, it was not what I was expecting. It was a good start, but it was not a good finish. But like the selling point for me was how the author portrayed the main character's relationships, like especially with the family, like everything. Like
I was trying to make you bigger, because I was like trying to experiment. Sorry, I don't have a producer. How do I make her bigger?
But anyway, so yun, like the family, like her banter with the family was so entertaining, especially when Dan, like when that whole debacle with Dan like happened. Dane. Yeah, like she was so when they were also depressed, and the whole family just pulled up. Oh, sorry, we weren't supposed to give any spoilers yet, but it was a heartwarming read in that aspect.
Yes. Okay. All right.
I'll save the rest for spoilers.
We have we have some audience people comments that I want to read. I also enjoyed when someone said the dress was slutty and her mom said no slut shaming.
Yeah.
Not that she was a slut, but not to shame her for it. Oh, I love that.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
So June gave it 4 out of 5. Lucha, what's grade did you stars did you give it?
Me? It was between a 3 to 3.5.
Okay, 3.5. And Kim gave it 5 stars.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh my God, Kim.
The writing kasi was really good. Like for a romance novels, because like I read a lot of shit romance novels for fun, and like this one was better than.
Yeah, and just to like mention also, right? I said that I read a lot of fantasy novels, so I don't read a lot of romance novels. So for me to enjoy a romance novel like this, I think it's like okay, yeah. I think I would put it up there, a little bit.
But rom-com specifically, like that's the
rom-com specifically.
Yeah,
I can see this being a movie.
Oh, I hope so.
It would be fun. It would be so much fun. Like I think it would be like really great for representation, especially since it's like a Latino family. It would be great.
Yeah.
Like I feel
Latino family, Latino protagonist.
Yeah.
And just a good message overall that a lot of us can take away from. Okay, Ava, go.
Like I do agree with everyone. I give it a 3.5, which is I think a bit shocking with the amount of like panic.
No, here's the book.
Oh, here's the thing. No, because I do admit that Christina Lauren is a good writer. She's a really good writer. Her prose is like it's very smooth sailing, if I can like describe it in any way. Like I breeze through it. I usually stop at like a certain point if I didn't like a book, and I ended up reading it in like one night. So you know how addicting it is. It reads like fanfic at times. Like it's very wish fulfillment, which is like fine for me because that's what I expect in romance novels. I didn't expect like reality to hit and all that. I do love what do you call this? I do love the family aspect, which is I think is a very important thing that was emphasized in the whole book. Because I think we're very similar to the like Latinos and Latinas. Like Mexicans and Filipinos are very similar in the way that they treat their family. Like we don't always like our family, but we will like defend them to the ends of the earth. Like we love them. That's the thing. They're a big part of our lives. And we love
them, but we don't necessarily like them all the time.
Diba? Right? Right? No, but that's the thing. Like, that's the reality of things. Like, we don't always like it. The same way that Olive doesn't like Amy, like, all the time. But it's like tooth and nail. She fought tooth and nail when she found out about Bleep. It's like, dude, I fucking get it. I know. And then when Olive was, like, very supportive of, like, Amy, despite her, like, being like a bit hesitant on like all the free stuff, she was like, okay, I do understand though that she's addicted to this, and I do like that part. I do agree that the latter part was a bit rushed. Mickey's gone. Mickey, this is your channel. You have to go back. No, but I think I do agree with everyone. Yeah. No, basically it. Oh my gosh, but Mickey, this is your channel.
Sorry, the Wi-Fi cut off. I don't have a producer.
Oh my god, we missed you.
Sorry. Okay, what did I miss? Are you through with this review?
Basically 3.5, and I'll explain later why it's just a 3.5.
3.5, guys, okay, so you gave it a 3.5, Lucha, okay, we all gave it 3.5s. In the school that we graduated from, a 3.5 is a failing grade, so.
No, but it's still a pass. If you were an optimist, it's a pass.
No, no,
it's not.
3.5 is like our F from the school we graduated from. Okay, so shall we get into spoilers? Since none of you brought notes, I actually have like a Google Doc with like all the stuff.
I have a favorite quote.
Yeah.
I'm flying so like free. Okay. So if I
it's fine. Oh, she's drinking from the bottle. Ah! Okay. So let's start from the beginning. Right off the bat, like, so we meet Amy, we meet Olive. Amy is like the lucky, perfect one, and she's getting married. And then we learn that, I love how like right off the bat we learn that, in Olive's words, that Ethan's like a bitch, and like unluckily for her, she needs to check his like wedding speech to ensure that it's not shitty. And then we get the wedding dress. And then I know that this is inconsequential, but when Olive was giving the wedding speech, did any of you find it really annoying that she didn't just put her damn phone on airplane mode? Because like when the message kept popping out, when the girl was texting her like nice boobs and stuff, like didn't you get like annoyed? Like I was like, girl, put your phone on airplane mode. Also, why? Yeah.
I mean, like in all honesty, though, like from my point of view, I wouldn't have actually thought of that. Like I wouldn't have had the foresight to put my phone on airplane mode.
On the other side, why would you text someone who's giving us?
I know.
I do that.
I mean, like no, I mean, like for me, like it's like if you have a really gago family, like if you have a really like if you have a kind of family that loves to mess with you, which is I find relatable.
Yeah.
Like I find it very realistic. Like if you're surrounded by those kinds of people. So I wasn't super bothered by that. I found it funny.
Yeah. No, it was super funny. And like, I'll be honest, like, yeah, I have cousins who are like those, like, they would text me all the time. Like, if I told them that I had presentations in school, they would intentionally call me during those presentations. I hate it so much. Anyway, like, but I also like felt for Olive and Ami at the same time, because I mean that scene, like asking Olive to check Ethan's speech.
Yeah.
It reminds me it reminds me too much of college. Like just checking with like the boys in your group that like, do you know what to say? Do you know what to... So I felt for her.
Before, but I have to make sure.
Yeah.
At some points it was like, do you know what to say? And then at some points it was like, do you know how to read? Because we put the words in the PowerPoint for you to not screw up the fucking presentation, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's part is like super relatable.
Guys, okay, in one of my majors, this was like the major with my dean of the school, and somebody thought that it would be cute to jump over a wire, and his foot hit the wire and he nearly knocked the laptop off the table in front of the guest and my dean. I'm gonna tell you which prof this was after, but like it was. Let's not name any names out loud because we don't want to dox ourselves. But
Okay.
I'll tell you who it is after. But yeah, anyway, so like I just wanted to say that this was like a really perfect setup for the book because like, you know, everything that could go wrong did. Like they get sick from seafood.
Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law.
It is Murphy's Law, and this would be such a funny way to start a movie with like, you know, you're in a wedding, you're dressed up as a slut, and everyone starts puking around you and your shirt rips off. Like that is like freaking Adam Sandler comedy. Like I love it.
I love the description of that part when how everyone was like doing projectile vomit. I was like, oh my god, and I was laughing.
Most colorful way I've read so far of someone describing a whole room of people just like getting sick in like different ways.
Yeah, I could visualize it in my head, like, you know, in a movie, and then you know that classical music, like when everything's going wrong and it's slow-mo and everyone's vomiting. And that's what
my god, you guys watch that movie on Netflix?
Yeah.
Love Wedding Repeat.
Yes.
You did? Whoever directed that needs to direct this film just so they can get this beginning, opening scene right. Oh my gosh. Okay, so then the next part I wrote.
When you watch it, when you like visualize, it's so funny.
Yeah. Okay, so the next part is like, so we know that Olive has to take the honeymoon vacation to Maui, which is non-refundable, and then go with Ethan, the brother of the groom, and then Dane. Oh gosh, we'll get to him soon, everyone. So, I just did not get the fact that like they would jail her for identity fraud. if she made somebody else take her prize, like I get the non-refundable thing because like if I own the company and I was paying for someone's vacation, I would be like, no, I'm not gonna. But like, I mean, why couldn't you just swap the prize? Like, why did she have to pose as her sister? And how did she get on an airplane with a different passport and different name? Like, you'd have to like CIA freaking that shit, right?
It's very consistent with. Sorry. Who's going first?
No, because she gave her legit passport. Like she bought her own ticket and she used her own passport. Yeah. So like that's why she can't get arrested for that. Sorry, go Ava.
Okay, no, but here's the thing. What I did believe that part because Olive is a very smart girl, but she's a very dumb bitch. Like she gives off a dumb bitch energy, which is like it's very consistent with how I know myself. Like I'm good at academics, honestly, but I have like such dumb bitch energy that I'd fucking do that. I'd worry about those little things without understanding why and understanding like, oh, it might actually like there might be like a legal way of like passing this off instead of thinking that it's immediately fraud. Like I jumped to the worst conclusions and all that. So like if Marina related to like the description and all that, the representation, I felt represented by the dumb bitch energy that she gives.
I felt represented by the cynical life's gonna suck energy.
So like I do understand like where you guys were coming from. Like, oh, if she was like, but I don't think she was thinking rationally, especially since like.
No, my view on that is like. I get why she came to that conclusion, and I would have done the same.
Right,
I would have just given. I mean, it was my twin. I would have just given her ID. But then, like the part when she bumped into her boss, that was a stupid move.
Like, I know. Oh God! Like she should have. Like if the boss asked her, "Why are you on vacation?" She should have just been like, "Because I'm on vacation." I mean, sue me, right? Like I mean, like, I am actually married. Like. Okay, like you can just say she doesn't need to say that she's anyway. It's so complicated. Yeah. So,
no, but that's not the worst part. Like I felt like that was understandable. Like I panic and all that. The worst part is like at the end when she tells her boss, when she tells her fucking boss the truth, and I'm like, dude, it's your fucking first day.
You did.
You go on and tell, and it's like,
I have an opinion on that because we talked about this. Because she had paperwork to file in, so if she indicated in the paperwork that she was married, then that is fraud.
Oh,
so like
when I was reading that part, I thought the whole crisis was gonna be like she was dumb enough to actually put married when she wasn't. So I thought it was gonna be like this whole legal case. And I was panicking on behalf.
That makes more sense. Like upon looking at her paperwork, like, oh, you filed like this and like this. That'd be more reasonable. It's like if there were so many ways. Like her dumb bitch energy at that part was like, wait. It's unbelievable.
I think like based on everything that you guys said, like definitely I feel like she just overthinks like to a degree that it's so stupid already. Like just calm down. Like, do you think that's gonna happen?
I know.
So she overthinks. So she thinks about all like the possible outcomes, and she picks like the worst outcome that she could. Like, girl.
Okay, and I do think about it that way though. It makes sense. Okay, so like right, but then the ending, like the epilogue part, wherein like she gets like her dream job, like it was like worth it, telling her boss about it, and it's like, no, it was still a stupid decision. I wish she stood by that. That was like a stupid like. That's why I felt like it was too rushed.
Everyone, another MVP has arrived. Melissa, hello!
Hello!
Here's the thing. People here.
Yeah, the book was hysterical.
Okay, I love it. I'm hysterical. Melissa, tell us your star rating, your favorite part, and just join the conversation. Just hang out.
Yeah.
All the people are here. Yes. Okay. So, I love how Lucha brought up all possible outcomes. we should probably go to when they are in the vacation. So
oh yeah, we jump from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
No, sorry, no.
So,
I like how.
Wait, no. Before they bump into the ex of Ethan, and they like name her Simba, and like I loved it when Olive plays along, and she's like, "Oh, we made plans, and we spent such a hard time getting out of the room today." I was like, "Olive is not the wet blanket I thought she was."
Yeah, she was smart. She was smart in that part.
Mm-hmm.
That one part.
But that one time, she was like finally getting out of her comfort zone. I was like, of all times, yes, thank you.
Ethan brings out the best in Olive, to be honest. Like, I do like their
True.
relationship. It's just the
Yeah.
aftermath that's like, dude, this is so fucking stupid. I wish there was like build up. Like, there was like an inkling of why Ethan was so defensive or why he acted in such a way that wasn't
I
as
have an
consistent
opinion on
with
that
his
also.
right? Okay. Go. Hello,
for me-
Melissa.
No. Like for me, what it was really missing was an explanation on why Ethan was so hung
Right.
up on believing. Like, if you're going to do all the tropes in a rom-com, then you could have given him like the traumatic background, like on why he is. Like, do all the tropes.
Yeah, but I really appreciate. Like, I think the vacation part was where the witty banter was like the best. Like, it was the part where I was giggling the most, and like, I mean, when I was like, and I liked how they were slowly but surely like starting to get along. Like they were going on activities like a drive or paintball and whatever. So it seemed really fun. Also, I was like asking myself, do people really do this on honeymoons? Like I wouldn't know. But like, that would sound so much fun.
My favorite quote from the honeymoon was "Press, not spread."
Yes.
Oh wait, that's later on. We have to
Oh,
go
sorry.
in order. Okay. So the next
Sorry.
scene, I'm going to talk about scuba diving. Oh,
Okay.
When they had to change in the same changing room, and he fell on her. I was like so reminded of Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds in that movie.
Actually, no. This gave off the proposal vibes like so much,
Yeah.
and I love it, and that's why it fucking disappointed. No, it was very disappointing by the end because it didn't end off like in the same way as. I like how I actually like how the proposal built up like the main problem, like the visa thing from the beginning. So the build up like it gets when it
was
hit
logical.
No,
when it hit sorry.
Sorry, I'm glad that you mentioned that because like one of the things that gave the Unhoneymooners like the 3.5 rating was that I felt like their conflict, like, and this is mentioned in the during the honeymoon scene, you start to see, oh, why was there so much like conflict? They vaguely say like, oh, it started at like their first meeting where they were kind of like standoffish, and then from there they just didn't have good interactions. Like I can get behind that, sure, but it felt a little weak for me when you look at the proposal where it's just like, I hated your guts because you were like the meanest bitch, you're my boss, and I hate like the
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like the way the proposal presented it, like it was the reality of things. Now, she was a bitch, and like like Ryan Reynolds' character had like every reason to hate her, and it slowly grew into love. Like upon like being like more exposed to like this small town thing, I love that build up. And they had so much potential for it. And I hate the fact that they started like giving off like this very weak reason wherein, oh, my brother was just against it because she told me that you were a bitch. I was very much attracted to you all throughout like 2 years. And I'm like, if they just build it up in a way na, oh, I hated you because you gave off the first wrong impression. And it's like, that's reasonable because we do meet people like that who we didn't like in the first impression. And
and it would have been more believable if there was, I believe, like a more establishing backstory showing why Ethan would be such a little bitch
right? Like
okay, his name is Dane, but I almost called him Dave because of the book we're reading now, because like the names are all the same.
I forgot who Dave
was. Like kind of annoying with Olive was that part that Ava mentioned when the misunderstanding, and then she was like, when she was talking about how he gave her this like mean look when she was eating this, what is it, like some kind of like corn dog or like yeah, and then I was like, oh. Like, girl, just because somebody walks away and looks at you weird does not mean that they're judging you for eating.
Why the fuck you jump into conclusions, girl?
Yeah.
That part I could believe a little bit because there are some like I will say yes. Now, when your insecurities are like that high, like anything someone does you could take the wrong way, which is like, okay, I could see it, but yeah, I agree that like again it was a really weak set. There should have been maybe something a bit like bigger. Like I don't need them like to hate each other for like a really, really dramatic reason, but like it could have been better so that the reconciliation at the end and like the love at the end, the love end at the end is like it's so much more gratifying because you know where they started and then you know where they ended, right?
Yes, I agree. Okay, the next scene, paintballing. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So my parents were watching something really serious on TV. I don't want to say what it is, and if you remember it, don't say what it is because girl. But like I laughed out loud when the bratty kid was like, "Your mom was riding my dick." I was like, "Kid, whoa!"
Yeah, when I read that, I was just so
Those this disrespectful.
Yeah.
But the thing with that is like that showed that Christina Lauren actually knows how to write very relatable characters.
I know.
Like, in that small scene, it's like these 13-year-olds are such assholes, but I can see like real 13-year-olds being these kinds of assholes.
I know. It's like I can't stand when they depict kids as like people who don't cuss. When I was 8 years old, I was talking like that. So it's like
that's a different thing.
I was a bitch always from birth.
I love it. It's very realistic in a way, like how she portrays these characters. Like I can hear people actually speaking this way, acting like acting like Olive and all that with her conclusions and all that. But then that's why it made the latter part very disappointing because it was very much shoehorned. They rushed like this latter part just to add like tension and all unneeded tension, to be honest. And it's like
guys, look at this. I was talking like that when I was 10.
I mean that's another thing, but it's like you get it, like you know, kids are assholes.
Yeah,
that is like the most honest thing I've heard all day. Honestly, it's like kids, not the little angels you don't think they are. Okay,
no,
so I'm falling. Oh, sorry, Marina, what you were saying?
A quick thing is that like I agree with Ava that I can actually hear teenagers talking like that. Also because like when I was a teenager, when I was in high school, like we had this laser tag thing and a bunch of boys came in and started shooting us and I was like, bitch, what the so immediately like I remembered those boys as I was like reading this and I was just like, they were like that, the disrespect. So yeah, anyway.
The other part that was funny there was that guy who was like so obsessed with paintball. I forgot, I don't remember his name, but he was funny.
Oh yeah, he was like just randomly there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
Marina, those boys are canceled.
Thank you. I don't know who they are, but then like so in that like when we had like laser tag, like it was just supposed to be like a fun competition with me and my friends, like for my friend's birthday. And then like these random guys just came in and started shooting us. They were about our age, like high school, like third year or second year high school. And then we were just like, what the fuck? And so like when we met up again, we were just like, truce, we need to take them out. So yeah. So that's what happened.
This isn't what we paid for.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm not getting out of this without killing someone. What?
Okay, guys, the next scene was the massage. Go off.
No, I just say, it made me realize that like if I was ever to have like an ideal guy, I would like him to be a good masseuse.
Same.
Like that was my takeaway.
I have to be
I
like. Yeah, sorry. No, you go
I
first.
don't know. Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say I do agree with Luce. Like I wasn't particularly looking for anyone. But then upon her describing that, oh, Ethan is such a good, I know, is so good with his hands, which I do understand was like very much like subtext, wherein like he's good with his hands.
Yeah.
Like but then it's like, yeah, but my aching body wants nothing more than those hands removing all the pain.
Like imagine like dating someone who's a good masseuse. Like my god.
Right?
Like I would like really all my other standards I'd like throw away.
Like you can even put on like their good music.
Yes, please. And I also
Right.
really loved the setup leading to that scene because they had to get in the tub completely nude, and she was like touching his collarbones, and I was like, lucky ass bitch. Anyway,
It had good smut.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Marina, what were you going to say?
I was okay. So like, what Lucia said, she said it had good smut potential. Like, actually, yes. Was it just
That's
me?
ended too early. That's ended way too early.
No, but like when they were doing the whole like massage thing, and then the masseuse left them alone in the room, I was just like, are they about to bang? Because I
The real question.
Like, I was waiting for it, and then when they didn't, I was like, I almost threw my phone. Like, what is this shit?
Oh,
Not what I signed up for.
me too. Me too. I was like, after this like super tense, sensual scene with like the aroma and the music of a spa, you just leave. It's like, what? Like, are you kidding me?
That's another thing that I kind of found. I don't know if it's just me, and I'm just like, like I was expecting some good smut. I did
because
not
you
get
were
it.
spoiled by Empire of Storms because that book was full of stuff.
No, but like, dude, it was disappointing. Like, cause like they were the build up was so good, and then once it like reached that, and then when they actually did bang, I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna do more.
No, but here's the. Yeah, sorry. No, you go first. You go.
That's why I think like this book for me leaned more towards like rom-com because it was less about that, but more about like the relationship between Olive and Ethan. Like what I appreciated, I guess, in that particular scene was that like obviously even guys, like even with like my friends and whatever, like it's so awkward to be like naked. Like when you're just like hanging out, like at that point, right, they weren't really like getting it on, like they were still like friends, right? So, or quote unquote friends, because like they wouldn't admit it. So I kind of liked how easygoing how easygoing like Ethan made Olive, like even when they were in like the nude. So that part I found charming, at least.
No, but because I do agree with everyone. Ethan was amazing, like during that whole honeymoon phase, which doesn't really explain like what happened with the end. Oh my
We'll
god.
get
What a real relationship.
Yeah, I know, but then
always during the honeymoon phase, and then the rest of it happens, and you're like, "What the fuck am I doing here? Goodbye." Am I right? Am I right? Yes, I am.
I do agree with Lucien. Like it could have been something more, But then the thing with that is I do like that it's like nothing happened. Because like most likely it was still a bit awkward at that phase because they were still
Yeah.
like friends. But then I do like the what do you call this? The how it led up to when they actually do like bang.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bang.
I was like rolling on the floor when the masseuse tutor was like
I know, but
the cheeks. I was like, in what circumstance would that ever happen? Like in a non-red light district massage?
I know, but no, actually,
That's the thing. We can't conclusively say because we've never looked into those packages. Like we don't know anything.
That's
So-
true.
no, but I actually want to confirm whether or not couple massages actually do that. Like, there must have been like so much cleaning going on, to be honest. I'm concerned because like the one who taught them was like, oh, you get it on like you children and
Like
all
she
that. It's
expected it.
like ew. I mean, this
I
is just like
I thought-
sanitary. Ew.
Either way, it was entertaining. Like I
It
mean, like
was. No.
I wouldn't say that the scene was disappointing totally because I was entertaining. And like, I get why the author did that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that it had so much potential to be more.
Fun
no.
fact, by the way, I didn't find this out until like when I went back to the book and then I started going through like the edited part. The Christina Lauren is just a pen name for Christina and Lauren, two best friends who write books together, which is like
Oh yeah, I heard
that's
about
Wait, on that note, I actually found out that she was the one who wrote the Beautiful Bastard series, which was
Really?
another thing, and autobiography, which is a gay.
Oh, I read
Basic.
Autobiography. That was a really good one. I like it more than this one. I actually have it in hardcover on my shelf, but it's very where it is right now.
So like
Actually-
that's going on my TBR.
What do you
I
guys
want to
think?
read. I actually want to read more of their books.
Right?
Y'all should. What did you guys think about the part when? Okay, let's get to the part when he was invited to go out to drinks by Simba, and he was like saying yes. Like I wanted to slap Ethan so hard. I was like, bitch, if you were interested in someone in front of you and you were like yes to drinks with your ex in front of them, that's like deal, no deal, deal or no deal, no deal.
All would have reacted more. I would have been like crying and not wanting to speak to him like for even longer because like that would exactly how it was described in the book. It's so embarrassing. It feels so like degrading.
Yeah.
Oh well, no, but I do enjoy it because it's very much in line with both of their pettiness. Like I do see Ethan being like, "Oh, I am going to be flexing that I found like someone new." When you left me with like a whiteboard thing, it's like, dude, she was such a bitch. No shit. But then I hate how anticlimactic she just like she was gone by like 2/3 of the book or whatever without anything happening. And it's like my petty ass would have done something.
Yeah. Well, she went shopping, so at least that was fun. Like retail therapy normally always helps. Okay, we should probably get to Dane. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, we have somebody. Can we talk about the red bikini scene? Hi, Ramisa.
Hi, Risa. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay, the red bikini.
Wait, which one is this?
I don't remember the scene too well, to be honest.
Wait, we shall. Oh wait, Ramisa, if you can like.
You're fucking like that's like when in the book
Is
this
this
happened.
one with scuba diving, or is this another
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, no, it was scuba. Yeah, no, it was the scuba diving.
Oh,
Okay,
when she like wore the red bikini and
Right.
they went changing after together to convince people that they were indeed a couple. And then
And then she fell on him.
Was that the wait? No, we want to confirm. Was that the red bikini scene that you
I think
actually?
it was because like what other point was there a bikini, right? Like oh my gosh.
No, because here's the thing. There's a lot of descriptions of her having like showing off her boobs and all that. And it's like we get it.
Yeah.
I understand.
We get that
not. I know.
we get that you have great boobs that we don't. Okay.
Oh, you guys, question: did you support Olive's decision to not tell Amy about the cheating right off the bat? Like when they got go. Oh,
No, that was a bad choice.
Okay, for me.
People in the chat, whoever's watching, tell us what you thought about that scene. Also, I'm curious.
Okay.
Go, Maria.
For me, I was like, throughout reading the book, like I thought of my own sister, right? And I'm like wondering, like, what would I have done in the moment if I had found out that like this person was like cheating or whatever?
I would have fucking told on the spot because I would want to know if someone was like fooling around behind my back. I would be like, I want to know right now because I want to know whether I'm wasting time with an asshole. Period.
No, but
Done. That's what I think.
Sorry.
I agree that it's a in-person type of conversation. However, like I would have mentioned something like way sooner, as soon as I found out, and like I didn't like don't debate about it. Like if you know your sister, you know your sister. Don't debate if you should tell her or not. Just tell her because like the fact that like, her gut instinct was like I don't think she knew. I think that you can trust that more than like another guy who was like saying like no, I think they made it. No.
Yeah.
No, but I actually like in terms of like like I said, dumb bitch energy representation. I do understand why Olive made that decision. Unlike how Ethan reacted to it. Because like the thing with Olive was like she was trying to think better. Because like that I think that's what she got from like the vacation phase of the book. Wherein she has to be a bit more positive about people, think of them in a better light. So I do understand why she chose to withhold like some of the information, especially since like they were married, which is a different issue with like
had a wedding and the honeymoon had just ended, so it was perhaps too soon. But even if it was like in my case, like if something happened like even in like the bachelor party, I would want to know. I would call off the wedding. I'd be like, "Fuck you, no."
I think like personally for me, if I was in that situation, considering that they're already married, like I'm thinking in the context of the Philippines where you can't actually get divorced, so if I was in that situation, I think that I would have also had second thoughts because it's like one, it's their marriage. Like, who am I? Even if they're my sister, like who am I to like interfere? Because it's something that they need to discover on their own. But at the same time, like I'd have second thoughts, but then feel like eventually, like if I had more evidence to prove my bad feeling, then that's what I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna straight out admit it now. Like I think that there's something wrong.
I have a question.
Well, I think Lucha is the more prudent one of the panel. Like if it was me, I would have been like, hey Sandra, Judy and Roger are fucking.
Oh no, but that's such a
at that time, I'm like, have enough conclusive evidence, so gets kind of like.
Even though I would have been like, I think that they are, in my opinion, they are fucking.
Wait, Marina.
Okay, sorry. I have like this. I don't know. I questioned it a little bit, especially towards like the end of the book. Like, I'm like wondering if Dane was such like a man whore. Why did he agree to the marriage in the first place? Like
that's what they are. They want their cake and they want to eat it. They want to be stable. They want to have a wife. They want to have a family. But they on the side because men are fucking pigs. I had to learn that the hard way.
No, but isn't it? Oh, that's a different thing. But I know. Wait, no. Let's drink to that first. Then I'll proceed to.
I already finished my drink, but apparently, according to Ramisa, we got the red bikini scene right. And June, I think this is for Ava. We live for dumb bitch and representation energy. I don't know how to read. I'm fucking like I already finished it. So okay. So let's talk about the scene. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So I was just going to mention that the thing with Dane was like it's more on like how rushed it was. Yeah. Because you don't understand like where this came from. That's the thing with Dane. Like I didn't like how. Oh, by the end of it, we just confirmed her suspicions. And she was like right all along. I think it would have been better if she was wrong, that Dane was actually a better person, and she was just jumping to the wrong conclusions. That she was being too negative about
There was
people.
there was a lot going on that if the author or authors would have chosen one thing to focus on, if it's her insecurities hampering her own life, or if it was
Yeah.
the complications of like family and whatever, just choose one to focus on, because since
Yeah.
she was trying to do everything felt like, oh, this happened. They're all great. Like they're all great. Like it was a really, again, it was they had a place in the story, but then they could have been fleshed out more. And if you were limited in terms of like the story, focus on one thing first. Like so you could have focused on Olive and like what her own like because I also appreciated that. I don't like having main characters who are just like perfect throughout.
Yeah.
It felt nice to know that like, oh yeah, like actually you are your worst enemy. And like I like that. I would have liked going on that journey with her more,
Yeah.
and then and then the epilogue would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing I want to get to is she gets fired from her job on the first day of work. Do you think this was
That's a
bad?
dumb
Especially
bit.
because this was before she signed on to the job. Like she signed her contracts like that day, right? What do you guys think?
Um,
I thought it was unfair, honestly. Like I was like, she had to keep up an appearance. She didn't mean to lie to you. And what difference does it make? I mean, like it doesn't mean it's not like she lied about like her taxes or anything. Like it was just she lied about her relationship status. It's not.
No, but
that,
I do understand from his
I don't
perspective,
understand.
from the boss.
Yeah. Mm.
No, because I do understand where he's coming from. Like from the get go, that's what they were like trying to point out. That is this dude like values his like the
Honesty.
honesty thing.
Yeah.
And I would have fired her, to be honest, if I were to be put in that. Because here's the thing, it was a dumb move.
Yeah.
It was
It
a
was.
very dumb move. And as a dumb bitch,
Yeah. Considering their line of work, you're like, do you really want somebody with a low EQ to
Right.
be in your?
Oh, okay. That's an interesting
No,
point.
she's very dumb.
I guess
Yeah.
I guess like if you already have like that impression that, oh, this person just like during that conversation he was saying that like for like hours at the whole meal you lied to my face, you didn't even try to clear anything up. So I think if she had made the move to say, actually we're not married but we're like, she could have even just lied and said that they were boyfriend and girlfriend and not married. She could have basically that, like she didn't make an attempt to try to at least get closer to the truth. So I guess like
Yeah.
once you have that impression, it's difficult to get past it, I suppose. So in his favor I can see that, but also um I also found it kind of stupid that she got like fired on her first day, because well, I was hoping that like her, like I didn't understand like why she had to tell him in that
I
moment.
know.
Like
Because
in the way he told him that,
because like if she were to hold on to that lie and he found out without her saying, like I think she wanted to risk saying the thing without him having to find out by himself on a later date, because that would have been worse in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like, yun nga, my major concern there is like, if she filled up the forms and she said that she was married, that's fraud.
Putang ina.
No,
That's legal.
On the day
That's a
she
legal
got married.
case right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's minor. It's a minor detail, but it's also like, to a certain extent, it could be fraud. So
You know
like,
what? You know what she should have done? She should have gaslit her boss. She should have been like, I said we were about to get married, didn't I not?
she didn't though. She said they were married already.
She should have been like, sir, are you sure I said that? I don't recall. Like, that's like the number one lawyer line. I don't recall, and it depends, right?
but I
Who's
swear,
just heard? Gaslight.
All of his capable.
If I had gotten fired on my first day of work, I think I would have been like more of a wreck than her. I would have been sobbing all the way home, and like I wouldn't have wanted to see anyone.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if he was gonna fire her, like, if I knew that I was gonna be fired, I would have at least tried to at least have every arrow in my quiver, right? Okay, if honesty didn't work, let's do something else. If begging didn't work, gaslight. Sir, are you sure?
No, Mickey!
It depends. Maybe I said I was. Are you sure you heard that? Your wife is also probably has a deficient hearing, right? She had a hearing aid. Go full on try everything to not get fired.
Oh my god!
You should have handled the whole situation better from the start.
I would have handled the situation perfectly.
If I were to be honest, the good thing that actually came out of that was like how her family was very supportive. Like
they were cooking food for her, like a schedule for all the times they'd cook food for her, right? Like, oh, that was
right. No, if I were to,
everyone came in full force. Like everyone went to her house, and then they were like, "Oh, we'll find you a job at your cousin's restaurant." Like, my God, like sobrang solid. They were so solid. It was so heartwarming to read about that. Actually, more than her relationship with Ethan towards the end, I was like really more reading it for her relationship with her family.
Exactly.
The relationship.
And I wish that was highlighted a bit more, because like we could have gotten a bit more of that rather than like at the very third act in the book, in my opinion.
Yeah. The relationship also with like her sister, it was really, really nice. Like when Ami and Olive fought about the news of like Olive's theory of Dane cheating. Like when they fought, like I had immediate flashbacks to like some of like the fights I had with like my own sister, and where she would walk out also and tell me it's my problem. Honestly, yes, I really liked seeing the dynamic that she had with her family and her family's role in like helping her get her life together.
Yeah.
True.
The other scene, sorry. Yes, Mickey?
What did you guys think about the scene when Ethan propositioned her? I know Dane propositioned her during the dinner when Ethan was at the bathroom.
Gross.
He was really propositioning her. It was so gross.
I know.
Oh my God, I was so
big, right?
Yeah, I was so angry in honesty, I was angry at Ethan and
then when Ethan put the blame on her, he was like, "You just lost your job. You're insecure." It's like, Ethan, listen to her.
No, here's the thing. The thing with Dave was like I do get it with how they built it up.
Dave is in the other book.
Dave.
Dave is in the other book.
Like, I know, wait. But the way Ethan reacted didn't make fucking sense. Like anyway, without context. Why the fuck did you react that way? I would have. Here's the thing, because Ami. So see, I have thoughts. I told you at the beginning, I have thoughts. The thing with Ami was like, she didn't believe it at first, but she did try to understand like why did my sister actually suddenly say this out of nowhere? Why did she come up with these conclusions? And that's when she started investigating and finding out like the truth, which would have worked with Ethan. And I don't understand why Ethan just believes Dane without explanation.
Yeah,
like you can love your sibling, but like you can't love them that much to be like a total fool.
But you can't permit their assholery, and the fact that like, they followed up as the person who was jumping to conclusions, and then out of nowhere they give that character trait to Ethan. Like, wouldn't you think that Ethan would have the wherewithal to actually think through the situation instead of just go, like, okay, you're a bitch because you lost your job. Like, why would you, girl, you spend a whole weekend? Yeah. Go.
It did not make any sense to me. It's like, Ethan's supposed to be the logical one. He likes math, diba? Like, he's supposed to be logical. Like, why were none of his actions logical? Like,
no, I do agree with that. But then the thing was, by the end of the honeymoon scene, like the one where they were like vacationing in Maui, he showed like a lot of emotional depth. So he had EQ and he had IQ. And I don't understand, why the fuck did you come up with this decision, like to react this way? Why did you believe Dane?
Also, I don't know.
Yun nga, that's like, it was such a huge like plot hole for me. Like why was Ethan so hung up on like believing Dane? Like
and he knew that Dane lied because like when Olive was saying that like that Dane was the one planning the vacations, but it was and Ethan was planning the vacations, but it was Dane planning the vacations. It was like he's a liar. You know that there are holes in his story. Also, look at this comment. F Dane, fuck Dane,
right?
Okay, him.
Yes, but dude, no, fuck Dane.
No, another thing to add, like, I understand, like, okay, being protective of your sibling or whatever, but also, I think we can all agree as people with siblings, or at least having like family, like you would know best how stupid they can be, what kind of like shit they can pull, right?
PBA.
Yes.
If anyone
wouldn't you want your sibling to be a good sibling? Dane is a bad person, legit, dead ass. Dane is a bad person. Yeah.
It really bothered me then because like considering that Ethan's the older one, like I grew up with the mentality that as the older one, you have the responsibility to also raise your younger sibling. Like if they turn out shit, that's also partially your fault. So like for Ethan to like condone all of Dane's actions, I'm like, what? You are such a shitty sibling.
We didn't know how bad he was. Yeah.
This makes me wonder, and this goes with Ava's comment that I would have also appreciated like knowing a bit more about like the family background of Ethan and Dane.
Yes.
Why were they so tight knit that he was so unwilling to believe that Dane would do something like that? We got a bit of the a few details sprinkled in the book where they said like, typical Minnesotan couple who are like pleasant on the outside and whatever, and also that comment from like those rude teenagers where they said like his mom would be writing his in the back, and Ethan laughed and he said that sounds like something Barbara Thomas would do, and then I paused and I was just like, what are you trying to say? I was trying to think. I was expecting that maybe he would go more into it, but then because they didn't, obviously, like my own mind had to kind of fill in the blanks, and then I guess that was a bit frustrating because, like like now we all of us are asking, like, oh, why would you ever defend your brother that way, even when you know for the fact that he's being a dick?
Yeah. Like, where's the traumatic past trope? Like, that justifies action.
This was missing a dramatic.
No, if you do think about it, though, it was like there was this point in time wherein Olive did prove that Dane was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was a part where in the thought process and all that, it's like, she was a bitch and all that. Like, no, because I remember there was a scene wherein they were talking about it. Like, the way Dane was describing Olive was like completely wrong.
Yeah.
So that would have been like a red flag already. And I don't fucking get how with that red flag you still choose to not see it.
Yeah.
Ethan. I'm so mad.
All right, guys, let's talk about
it. So smart.
Yeah. Let's talk about the scene when when Amy invited the mistresses over. That was like the best ever.
I love her.
I love her so much because I was like so depressed by how Amy was treating what's her name? Amy was treating Olive. Like, I mean, I could understand to an extent because like she had just gone through her wedding and like she was just like still living the dream of every person to have like a lovely wedding and a happy marriage, and for this to go so wrong like right at the beginning of their married life, like I understand how she would be in a state of denial and in a state of disbelief. Did I write that down? Yeah, in a state of disbelief. And what really pissed me off was the fact that Dane was again hiding all of this behind her back. So when Olive came over, I thought that she was just going to be here for moral support. But when the posse of mistresses, kabits, See, I know words because these people. making me bilingual. Okay, what did you think about the scene, everyone?
That's probably my favorite scene from the
So
entire
good.
book.
Like, that one and was, like the best scenes in the book.
Yeah. Like obviously, like we know how like they just made up at that point. Like Olive and Ami, like they just made up, and then obviously yes, everything went wrong from start to finish. The like you find out that your relationship for over like 3 years was a scam. You find that you get food poisoning at your wedding. You don't get to go on your honeymoon, and then now and like I would be a sobbing mess. I would have like tossed all this shit out the window and set it on fire. But no, look at this bitch. She's sipping her wine. She calls them over and she's like, "Who's that at the door?"
Yes.
Oh.
She is the bitch. Oh my god.
Yeah. Like I really love that.
She did that.
Yeah. For me though, I just really wanted more scenes of Dane suffering. I don't know if this is me and my inner
Yeah, let's
But
put
then,
that comment on
No,
Dane. Fuck Dane, okay? Fuck.
Yes.
This is the comment of the chat.
Here's the thing. I also want to fuck Ethan in like in a bad what? Wait.
Ooh.
I know. But the thing with Ethan is I wanted him to suffer more.
Oh,
Yeah.
To get him back.
I agree with Ava.
Here's the thing. No, I do agree with Dane. The thing with Dane was like I love how that happened. Wherein she called in the mistresses, but then the mistresses was like, oh, they actually didn't react in a way that was very typical.
Mhm.
So I did
That's
like
already
that.
mature, which I liked.
Yeah.
No. I agree with Kim. True.
Kim goes, I love the part of the ending where she invites. Okay, wait, Kim actually has several other comments. Oh, okay, so she goes, Dick move 1, Ethan by not believing her about his brother.
Yes.
And then she has Dick move 2, Ethan breaking up with her. Oh my gosh, let's talk about that. That was so uncalled for. Like, you need to talk things through. You don't need to just end that shit quick. I mean, like, girl.
Yeah, it's because he doesn't agree with you. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And like
No, but here's the thing. Because I do agree, and like, no, I do understand, like, the breaking up. But then, before that, like, the actions before that, wherein Ethan didn't believe her at all. At all. Was, like, already out of his character. So, it was in character, we're in like, the dick move number 2.
Yeah.
Wherein he broke up with her. Like, that version of Ethan would have done it. But the Ethan that was present in the honeymoon, that she had chemistry with, that wasn't present in the latter part of the book.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened.
he didn't even like not even a call. Not even a call to his brother like, "Hey Dane, were you cheating?" On like
I know.
Validate the story.
Do anything to confirm. He just took like Dane's word as like truth, and that made no sense.
None. Okay, so
Well, it's
Kim goes, Dick move number 3, the way he acted at lunch with his ex-girlfriend and she was asking about,
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That was the move.
Wait, Lucia, finish your point. I was enjoying it. Yeah, go.
Who?
oh you.
Sorry.
I think you were saying something. Sorry, there's a bit of a delay. Who was talking?
I don't remember anymore.
Okay,
I don't remember.
No, because I was just angry. Here's the thing about Unhoneymooners. Because the Unhoneymooners is a really good, like, it's a well-written book, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's well written.
It flows really nicely. I love how the characters are well developed in, like, the short span that they
In the
do
first
as a
half.
Right? No, because here's the thing. Ami was like, Ami appears like very sporadically. But then the way she was developed was like, you do understand why this girl cares for her sister.
Yes.
And you understand like the family dynamics. So I can't like deny that Christina Lauren is actually a really good writer.
Yeah.
No, I do understand the dick move number 4. Here's the thing. Ethan, like, I do understand where Ethan was coming from. But then the latter part wherein all these barrages of like Olive like
Evidence.
being no, here's the thing. Your girlfriend wasn't going to say those things like out of nowhere. Like you know where she like
Yeah.
her experiences were that will not last out. No, here's the thing.
In
Okay,
the
sorry.
episode, they go to like they go back to Maui though.
I didn't
they
like
get
Right? No. I wish by the epilogue it was like more of a family thing wherein they do realize that family was more important or well like that and then Ethan tries to win her love.
Yeah.
But
yes.
then there was no scene like that. Sorry.
I would have wanted. I don't know how you guys feel about. Like for me, I was also going to ask you guys like if you were Olive, would you take Ethan back?
No.
Wait,
For me,
No
Oh
shit.
my God,
No
no.
shit.
it
No,
would
dude,
be
no.
like
No.
it would be
Marina,
like a
in connection
Yeah?
to your comment, Marina, in connection to your comment, they're heading for divorce court.
oh my god. No, but like I would. So I was thinking about this a lot. Like, how could it have been better? Like, yes, they could have focused more on Olive's like growth, and then also, and obviously, like even with our complaints about like Ethan, like we all want Olive and Ethan to be together. Like, we want them to be together. I'm rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. But
Okay.
I
Yeah.
would have really wanted for them to I wanted more struggle also in the
Yes.
reconciliation part. I loved
Yes.
that Ami called Ethan also to watch the train wreck that happened in front of her house with Dave. And it's just like it's a big like middle finger to him also, which I
Yeah.
really liked. But like I would have really wanted that like yes, they focus on Olive and her family and her getting her life together and then they could even like fast forward to like a later time when like maybe Ethan and Olive are like a lot more mature and like if they get back together, it's better. Right? So
Yeah.
I think
I wish
that
Crazy Rich Asians would have ended because that ending also pissed me off big time. I was like, really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
I have a
shoehorned
comment.
everything in.
I
Sorry.
have a comment on like what Marina said. Like, you know what they could have done? Like, she could have not ended up with anyone in the first book, and then they could have made it like a 3-part series. Like the second book was like Olive finding love again, and the third one could have been like the story of Amy and like the doctor. So it could have been a 3-part thing. Like, you didn't have to rush
And
the
the
ending.
whole gimmick would have been in each book they all end up by some miracle ending up having to be forced to go on vacation together. And I think we know the name of the third book. It's going to be called The Divorce Corner. Yeah. And on that note, I don't think there are any more significant scenes. So I think we should probably do that by now because like I need to eat dinner. So
Oh my god.
does anyone have any last minute thoughts?
No,
There's a
overall-
line that I actually highlighted in the book, and then I
Okay.
feel like it encompasses a lot of my feelings towards men.
Go.
Like,
Go.
there was a line that goes, "It seems smart to be a lesbian right now. Men are awful." And I was like, "Oh yeah."
Oh shoot.
Oh,
Yes,
shit.
yes.
It just made me laugh out loud. I was like, and then
Like,
it was the mom who said that. It was the mom who said that. I just loved it.
Oh, it was just when they were talking about the one lesbian cousin, then she was like cleaning her room and she found the vibrator in the nightstand. I was like, whoa.
That was another part. No, this was towards the end.
Yeah.
Like when they were all together, when Amy was announcing that she was divorcing the guy and the mom agreed, and then everyone was shocked.
Yeah.
No, and obviously, like when you would expect like moms to be more well, at least like in our experience, we would have expected like people to not support like drama and airing your dirty laundry in front of family and all of that. But I really like the family aspect. I do. They say that it's not a romance novel until like obviously the characters like get together. But then I really would have wanted to see. I really loved Olive and really
Her
would have
family
wanted.
dynamic.
Yeah, I would have loved that so much.
Yeah.
And like the family finding her a new guy. Oh my gosh! Like
Yeah,
that, I would have
That
loved
would
that.
have been such a trip. That would have been such a trip.
Yes.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah, I just
everyone.
love the whole thing. Yeah.
Wait, Lucia, last point, and then let's wrap this up because we're already 30 minutes over time.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Last point.
Wait, I just really like how accepting the family was. That's it. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Last word. Last word goes to who?
Ava.
Ava. Okay. One thing, and then I really have to eat, girl.
I don't. I'm so sorry. We actually were like very much ranting throughout the whole thing.
I love it.
So the thing that I actually do agree with Marina, like, I wish they focus on one thing rather than like spreading it out. Because if they just focus on the family thing, or at the very least with like the Olive thing, wherein she thinks too negatively, and they just went with that, that would have been a really good book. I would have given it a 4 stars.
Yeah.
Because Christina Lauren, in all their faults, are actually really, really good writers.
Yeah.
Well, very engaging. It's not going to be like high literature, but then it's like very much engaging in the same way good, really good fanfic is.
Yeah.
Spreading like during a massage.
I know.
And on that note, everyone, our next book for next week is Every Last Fear by Alex what's his name?
Finley.
Alex Finley. Okay. So, Every Last Fear by Alex Finley. It's going to be a thriller, and we're all pretty much near. Okay, I think Marina is done. Is Ava? Are you in it? Are you finished?
I'm one half. Like, okay, I'm halfway.
I'm almost done. I'm on the last.
I actually haven't started yet, but I'll finish.
It's okay, girl. You've got a whole week to do it. So we'll
have to fucking start it.
Thank you so much to everyone for watching.
Thank you so much, guys.
It's a thriller. We love thrillers. And yeah, thank you and bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys. So much fun talking to you all.
Yeah.
We're